Teatro holandês, joguei teatro.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. We gather here today, enveloped in grief, united in mourning the loss of Rigo, a beloved son, friend, and teammate, whose life was tragically cut short by a senseless act. Rigo was the kind of person who brought light into the lives of everyone around him, a light that was extinguished far too soon. Rigo was a beacon of generosity and hard work. Always there, the first to offer help, whether at the shop or in any corner of the community needing a hand. He was more than just a student or an athlete. He was a vital part of the fabric of our lives. On the football field, basketball court, and track. He pushed himself and his teammates to be the best, not just in sports, but in everything he did. The shock and sorrow that we feel for his sudden loss are profound, yet it is matched by our gratitude for having known him. This year's district track meet, I ran the 4x2 with him. The same race that made it to state his sophomore year. I was the anchor, and we placed fifth. And immediately after, I fell to my knees, disappointed in the effort that I had given. And within moments, there was Rigo's voice, telling me to get up. And when I looked at him, I didn't see the same emotions I was feeling. I saw a face full of light and enthusiasm. A face that brought me out of my discouragement in seconds. Rigo's kindness was boundless, and he touched our lives in countless ways. His spirit, his laughter, his unwavering support. It's these moments that we must hold on to. These memories must drive us to live as he did, putting others first and striving always to make a difference. As we say goodbye to Rigo, Let us not be consumed by our anger or our sorrow, but instead honor his memory by embracing the qualities he exemplified: kindness, dedication, and a profound commitment to the community. Let us leave here today inspired to carry forward his legacy by living our lives with the same generosity, integrity that he showed every day. To Rigo's family, I offer my deepest condolences. Know that his spirit will continue to inspire and guide us. Though he is no longer with us, his impact will never fade.
At this moment, I find the poem When Great Trees Fall by Maya Angelou's reflects the deep void left by Rigo's passing, yet also reminds us of the enduring influence of such a great soul. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory, suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold caves. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us, they existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed.
Rest in peace, my dear friend Rigo. We will forever carry your memory in our hearts.
Did y'all notice some kiddos getting pulled out of the class today by the Grim Reaper? 26 of them. Y'all stand up for me. 26 kids in this short period of time represent the number of people that die because of distracted driving, drunk driving, driving under the influence. You guys have a big, huge choice to make in life. You are just getting y'all's feet wet in this thing we call life. And there's so many people that won't get to move on to the next phase. We want to start off today by thanking the school system for letting us put this on, helping us put this on. This all started back in September with Miss Norrell and her team and the team that we put together on our side to make this happen today. A lot of planning, a lot of communications went into this. We want to thank, of course, the Sheriff's Office, the Department of Public Safety, our DPS troopers, our fire and EMS people, the funeral home folks that helped us with this, Judge Curbo that helped us with this. There are so many more, and I promise you I will forget half of them. but we couldn't have done it without them. The counselors that were in the Hoover building with us, the folks, the Knights of Columbus that fed lunch to these folks, very heart-touching for everybody today. And we want to thank each and every one on the cast and the students that portrayed this. This wasn't easy for them either. And hopefully you all realize how serious this can be. With that being said, Sheriff Antonio Alejandro would like to have a few words with you guys.
How are y'all today? As Eddie said, DWI, GUI are some of the most common things that in vehicle and drunk driving that are most common in teenagers between the ages of 13 to 19, more so under 21. 37 people do die in the United States every day from drunk driving crashes, DUIs also as well. That's one person every 39 minutes. It's a lot of people. And something to think about coming in as a teen driver, the dangers and experiencing of driving that needs to be worked on. About 1,885 teens in the United States drunk driving were killed, and about 227,000 were involved in motor vehicle crashes in 2020. In 2022, it was 13,524 people that died in the year. Some of the drunk driving is often caused by peer pressure from friends, family, cousins, which leads to speeding, distractions on the roadway, and not scanning. So if anybody has any questions, I'm open for them. Thank you.
Sergeant Brian Bailey, Texas Department of Public Safety.
Does anybody have any questions about what happened today, or why we did what we did, or why the troopers did what they did? You can ask me. I won't bite, I promise. No? If you have any questions, please find us, find me, find one of my troops, whatever. We'll explain what we did. You remember, if you saw spray painting, that is a murder scene. You have to know that. We had somebody pass away. We are working a murder scene. So keep that in mind. One thing I will say, I wish I'd had this when we were growing up. I had a friend of mine, first year in college, kill a police officer because he was drunk. Had another one, pretty much the same thing. Here in high school is one thing, but it's that first year in college. I have a lot of friends that got in trouble or ended up in jail or ruined their life, first year in college, or die. His first year in college in Odessa, got T-boned. Just starting his life. When I grew up, yes, I went to school in Big Lake, so I understand. My daughter went to school in Sonora, so I get it. It's that first, second year in college. Mom and daddy aren't there anymore. You're running free. That's where mistakes will be made. So, if you have questions, please let us know. There are people out there way more than what we had way back in my day. Back in my day, it was, unfortunately, it was a free-for-all. We didn't have Live 360 where mom and daddy can watch you 24/7. I got my daughter's at A&M and I watch her constantly. Because it is, when we were growing up, they didn't keep an eye on us. We do it because we love our kids. How was Joe?
Not fun.
No?
No, sir.
We sure don't want that. Like you said, your life is ahead of you. There'll be a lot of great things. I will say, I've been a police officer for 27 years, and I've seen a lot of bad things, and a lot of things with kiddos. The one thing I will say that has enhanced is this terrible thing right here. The worst. I'll tell my troops, which are not much older than y'all, I hate this thing. I hate it. It's very unfortunate. I drive a black Tahoe. Y'all know I drive a black Tahoe. What I see driving down the road just like this, saw it the other day in a school zone. Guy just like this, right in front of you. I'm like, are you kidding me? Everybody does it. My troops do it. Police officers do it. Parents do it. 2 weeks ago, a trooper on his phone gets sideswiped by an 18-wheeler because he was not paying attention. Lucky he's alive. Not one truck tractor, 2 of them. All on video. Don't, please, put this thing down. This has become worse than DWI or possession or driving under the influence of marijuana. That's another thing that's huge. Don't do it. It's 1 second. I'm telling you, 1 second. And you're either being taken away from your mom and dad, running your life, because that's what it will do. Unfortunately. The one mistake, you think about it, how old are you, 18?
Yes, sir.
Rest of his life. My friend, same thing. He was 19, going to college in Uvalde, killed a police officer. Done. Life is done. Everything he wanted to do, that follows you the rest of your life. You think, man, that's something I did when I was 18. I'm 40 years old now, 50 years old. Want to do something? That's on your record. That will follow you the rest of your life. Because that just didn't affect one person. Now you got a daddy that's gone, a husband that's gone, over what? Because you didn't want to call anybody? We had an Uber back in Big Lake whenever I was there. We'd have kept them busy, I promise you. Like I said, they didn't have this. They didn't have any of this when we were growing up. We do it for a reason. This is done for a reason. Understand why we do it. Remember this, because some of y'all are going to college next year, where mom and daddy are not there. And like he says, it is peer pressure, and it's way too easy. Because here, everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows everybody. 8 hours away, nobody knows you, nor do they care. And that's something you will learn. They don't care at all. My daughter, one of them. She found out real quick, leaving a small town, you go to A&M, UT, wherever. They don't care. You can't just call whoever to come get you. Please put up the phones, please. I see it all the time. And I see it with you kids. All the time, on the phone. Even with my troops, on the phone. It'll kill more people than DWI or anything else. Anybody have any questions?
Since this was drunk driving, what is the average sentence that one gets if you kill someone?
Depends on the DA. Because it is manslaughter. So it would just depend. We work it up as a murder, as aggravated assault with deadly weapon, whether they're hurt or manslaughter, depending on how it's filed. They're either on probation or they go to prison, one of the two. And you don't want to go to prison at 18. That's a whole nother story, and I don't want to even get into that because I'd be real blunt about that. Because I've been to intake in Huntsville. Lovely place, let me tell you. You don't want to do it. And you just had a little bit of it. So, I can tell you, it's the rest of your life. It is the rest of your life, and you never forget it, ever. So yes, it was all fake today and everything, but this is real life. We do, everything that we did today is what really happened. But the difference is that he didn't have to face Rigo. He didn't have to face Mama. He didn't have to face his friends that I've killed somebody because I was drunk. Or I hurt everybody because I was drunk. Or on the phone. That's even worse to me sometimes. Because you're under the influence, more than likely you're gonna live. My friend lived. He was passed out in a floorboard going down the road when he killed that police officer. Walked away from it, not a scratch. The other one paid dearly for it with his life. So, take this, besides with a smile, take it for what it is. And please remember whenever you go to college, or whenever you leave Mom and Daddy's house, that's where it's gonna count. Because we don't like making those phone calls. I've done several death notifications to parents, and I don't like it, and it is no fun. So, keep that in mind. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, talk to us, whatever you want to do.
All right, can I get a round of applause for everybody's participation?